I'm good. How are you?
Good. This is a big fight for you. You're probably in the best moment of your career right now. Talk to us about, coming into this big pay-per-view, this big card, in arguably the best run of your career.
I'm excited. I'm here and I'm ready, and it's time to go knock another girl out.
And your last fight was quite a show, and you've been picking up steam. Have you felt it, besides obviously inside of the cage, have you felt it around your life, sort of how everything's been kind of coming together for you?
I do. I'm with a great team, and I put in a lot of work, and I feel like for me it's like coming off of a while ago, obviously coming off of that injury not a few years ago, and just being able to have the experience and just live through this entire career. It's been a great thing.
Yeah, and there's obviously a big fight for the division. Do you see it as a title eliminator? You feel like a win here will get you the next shot?
I do. Either that or, like I said, obviously Alexa still has the belt, so it would be a title eliminator and getting a title shot. I feel like when I finish Caitlin, the gatekeeper, I feel like for me that really sets me up and is like, all right, fine. Like, she dominantly finished Caitlin. Now it's time to give her a shot, and I'm still coming for my rematch.
Yeah. So a lot is expected that maybe they're going to do a trilogy fight between Alexa and Valentina. Do you feel like if you make a statement against Caitlin, you can skip over Valentina and be fighting for the belt next?
I mean, I'm down to do that, but even if they do have their trilogy, if they're scheduled to fight, I'd like to be the backup fighter. That'd be great. Or whatever we can make work, There's injuries, there's things that pop up, so I'll be ready.
Yeah. And lastly, what have you made of Alexa's run, and are you surprised at all that, she not only became champion, pulled off a big upset, but has been able to retain her belt so far?
I'm not surprised. Honestly, though, I did think that was a lot closer fight than it was, the rematch. And I think that's why we're getting a trilogy. But for me, I think that Alexa has done great. I've always thought that she's a phenomenal fighter, and that's why I want my rematch, because I know my third round with her, I won that third round, and had I had a 5-round fight, I would have won that fight too.
Maycee right here. Just want to get your thoughts too on the Erin Blachfield, Manon Fiorot, and kind of I think a lot of people think that might be a title eliminator as well. So
they're not exciting though.
Do you think that would be what separates you? Is maybe if you were to go out there get a finish, like that would be what could surpass you over them?
Absolutely. I know that obviously they're girls in the division, but like I don't know a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, Erin Blachfield, oh yeah, Manon. Like they're just there. They're good fighters, but I don't think they have everything to be able to be, a title shot or a dominant and great champion.
And I guess, what do you think of that matchup? Is there somebody one way or the other that you're leaning towards?
Yeah, not really. It's kind of like okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maycee over here. Obviously, from the outside looking in, I'm sure you've watched the tape on her, but to us, it just seems like Caitlin can she frustrates her opponents a lot with just staying out of reach and just doing like her teep kicks and everything. So when you're breaking her down, is it that cut and dry? Like she just frustrates her opponents into these decision wins, or do you see kind of more in the technique she brings?
Yeah, more of what I look at is their decision wins. They're not finishes. They're not dominant. They're not. They're just decision wins. She's doing enough to win a decision, and all the girls that she's fought that have gone for a finish, specifically Andrade, she got finished. So that's what we plan to do. Is we're gonna go out there and finish her. I'm not going out there to point fight with her. I'm going out there to finish her.
When you say finisher, do you vision this staying on the feet like a clean knockout, or like when she fought Valentina, she took her down and was kind of ground and pound with the elbows? Like, how do you see this fight playing out?
I see this fight playing out where I can win anywhere. I'm dominant in the striking. I'm dominant in the grappling. I'm going to be too much for her.
And then just last one for me. Can I get your thoughts on the main event between Sean and Cheeto?
Yeah, I like watching both of them fight. It'll be an interesting fight, but for me, I'm a fan of Sean O'Malley. I think that he's going to pull it off.
Maycee over here. Just want to get your thoughts on your division. I mean, it seems like it's in a very healthy spot right now. You have yourself, see Caitlin, Alexa, Valentina, Manon, Erin. The list goes on. So what are your thoughts on the current state of the flyweight division?
I think that we have a lot of great fighters, but I don't think we have a lot of huge personalities and people that stand out. You know, I think that there are a lot of great flyweights in the flyweight division, but I like to think of myself as one of the girls that stands out in the division because I'm not afraid to say what I think, and I feel like everyone else kind of just continues on, you know?
And if the UFC does opt to go with the Alexa Valentina trilogy and then give it to Erin and Manon winner, is that a situation where you see yourself maybe doing one more before a title shot, or just kind of sit around and wait for the shot, maybe do a backup like you said?
Yeah, I definitely don't want to sit around and wait. Depending on how that would play out, is I want my rematch with Alexa Grasso. I don't care how it comes, you know, if it's with the title shot, without the title shot, if she loses the trilogy, I don't care. I want my rematch. And obviously, ultimately, I want the title too. So I think that those are the two that we could figure out, you know, if one of them gets a title shot. But that's something that I got to figure out and decide on. But it's kind of a weird situation because there's not a whole lot of people ahead, but also like you don't really fight backwards. The only time I was going to fight backwards was when I tried to fight Juliana Pena.
Maycee right here. You know, you obviously are very confident coming into this one, talking about getting the finish. And I'm curious, you know, when you started out and you had the countdown clock and you had a couple of setbacks, was it kind of difficult to adjust and then get back to a place where you can be this confident heading into a fight?
I mean, I think that it was just a learning process. You know, it's like I know what I want to do and I know like where I want to be, but it's just like trying to figure out how to get there. And so, like I said, it's a learning process, but I'm here and I learned my way here. So we're good.
And then, you know, a lot of people have noted about how stacked this card is. So is this the next best thing to being on UFC 300?
Honestly, I think this card to me is better than 300, and I'm honored to be on this one. And we're here in Miami, and I love it. But yeah.
Thank you.
Just to follow up, because you mentioned Juliana again, is that the only fight you would go up for at bantamweight outside of obviously a title shot?
I mean, yeah. I think that the 35 division also needs excitement. I think a lot of women's fighting needs excitement, and I'm down to be the person that brings that excitement. You know, if I got to fight Juliana Pena, if I got to move up and fight at 35 for a title shot, I'm like, why not? You know, like we need that.
So if presented with both Alexa and Juliana, would it be Alexa just based on, you know, you want to erase that L, or is it, you know, Juliana seems to be the most talked about women's fighter in both divisions at this point?
I think it depends on the timing. Like if it was like they're both at the same time, then it's like we gotta think about that one. But I'd take the easier one first, which I think is Juliana, and then I'd go and fight Alexa.
What makes Juliana more easier than Alexa?
I just don't think she's that great of a fighter. Of course.